The Community Lab is a hands-on teaching laboratory that allows middle school and high school students to come in and learn about what we are doing in Biogen. They get to be exposed to the careers that are offered at a biotechnology company, as well as the exciting science that we're doing every day. When kids come in here, they are insanely awed, inspired, and it's unlike any sort of thing they've ever seen before. The labs at their schools don't look like this. They don't get to have the type of equipment that we have. They don't have the same type of environment. They really feel like they're in an authentic space. They walk out of here having a sense of accomplishment and a feeling like they have been a scientist and that they one day probably could be a scientist.
Being able to tackle the same questions that a scientist would be able to tackle, and really addressing this hands-on component that says, hey, look, science is actually really cool. It's cool because you're actually touching stuff. You're actually using micropipettes and or a centrifuge and or even touching these molecules that could potentially be an answer for something. And so that's what I do in the community lab. It's really educating the future scientists. Students need to be able to sit in a room where they're comfortable with science, where they love science. Science isn't meant to be taught through a textbook. It's meant to be taught in an environment where you can actually do science, to see science under a microscope, either touch it or feel it, or cut it open, tear it apart, like really exploring that curiosity. And I think that should definitely happen in a classroom where they're comfortable and where they have the tools and the appropriate instructors and guidance to get there.